Hello, my name is Clay Goering. I'm with Technology Services Department. I want to give you an overview of how you can get support from technology services as well as some of the related departments as well. So let me give you a breakdown here. So Technology Services, which is a department I oversee, maintains a lot of just the core systems, Power School, Business Plus, the website, Blackboard, Clever, um, all of your main systems, your wired and wireless networks, phone system, all the authentication systems, Office 365, etc. And then ITSC, which is the Instructional Technology Support Center, is overseen by Greg Trepus. And that is the group that you'll probably get most familiar with. Greg's team is the first point of contact. They do end user support. They'll be the ones on the phone if you call for help. They deploy new laptops, desktops, replace equipment in the classrooms, take care of student devices. They've checked out all the devices, or helped check out all the devices, I should say, or has prepped the devices for the student one-to-one, students taking the devices home. They handle repair and deployment. And Ed Tech, I believe you've had some discussion with Betsy Weigel, who oversees that department. But all three of these departments, while we all have some technology role, we all work very closely together and talk often. If you need help, one of the first places to go is to the district website. Go to SpokaneSchools.org. You click on staff in the upper right-hand corner and go to IT help ticket. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the website and show you that. So if you bring up the website, you click on staff in the upper corner. I've already signed in, but you will be prompted to sign in. And then you're going to click on IT help ticket right here. And that will launch the help ticket website. And from here, you can put in whatever your issue is. You can say my printer won't print, and it brings up some suggestions of adding a printer if that's not what your issue is. If you click there, it'll tell you some instructions on how to add a printer to your computer, or whatever issue you type, it's going to give you some suggestions. If this isn't what you're looking for, down here you can click on I need to open a new ticket. You can give a summary of the issue, put in some more description. You need to select a category for what kind of category are we talking about here. In this case, it might be a printer, some other type of category. It'll automatically detect what site you work at based on the username you're logged into. I would suggest putting in a room number and a phone number so those individuals can reach out to you, not always knowing where you're working from. And then click on new ticket. That ticket will be delivered to ITSC. They automatically monitor tickets on a regular basis. So they get those tickets whether they're out in the field, and we'll be in touch with you. So those are for regular tickets. If you have an emergency need where your computer cannot log in, you cannot do your job, you're dead in the water and cannot function, computer won't boot, can't log in, password lost, whatever it is, that's where you're going to call 7600. And there are individuals there who will be able to assist you. Again, I would ask that you leave 7600 for emergency situations, not for just general things that can be handled by a ticket and resolved. Next slide. So account security, one thing I always ask people to do is to keep their account secure. And one of the things that we do when we're in person is I ask people to write down their email address and write down their password. And more often than not, I'm finding that people are getting a little bit more gun shy about writing down their password because there's really, the thing I want to emphasize is there's no reason anybody within IT or other departments needs to know your password. We will not email you and ask you to reset it. We won't email you and ask you to verify it. If you get those types of emails, those are phishing emails with people trying to, outside our organization, trying to get your credentials. We will not ask you for your password. There's only one scenario where it may occur, and that's if an ITSC person needs to come to your site and work on your piece of hardware, your laptop or desktop, and maybe you're not right there at the time and they need to be able to log in to fix the problem. In which case, if you're not going to be there or you're teaching or whatever else and they need to get access, they may ask you for your username and password to get logged into your computer to fix it. If that is the case, after they get done repairing the computer, you should ask or they should offer for the opportunity, how do I reset my password? Tell me what I can do to reset my password or change my password so I can not have that shared with anyone else. So again, don't share your password with anyone. Nobody needs to know that information. And use a different password for different systems. Don't use the same password for your district account that you use for your bank account, that you use for your home email, that you use for your Amazon account, or whatever else. If you get, we try to block as many emails as we can coming in that are phishing emails or spam emails. And these will appear to come from a legitimate sender, but they're basically trying to get you to provide sensitive information. Some cases they may even say they're coming from somebody in the district. But I'm going to give you one quick thing. If you ever see an email that's coming from your supervisor or from somebody else in the district on the from line in the email address, look after their name, right behind their name. If it's an internal sender, they will not have an email address listed after their name. If it's coming from inside, if it's coming from outside, it'll list an email address. If it's coming from inside the district, there will be no email address listed because it already knows where it's coming from. It's coming from inside. So if you see an email coming from your supervisor or somebody else, and the name says from, it has the name of the person inside the district, but there's an email address listed after it, it did not come from the person inside the district. So you want to be cautious with those. You also want to be cautious with links in emails that take you to a web page that asks you for your username or password or other critical information. It's usually sometimes somebody trying to phish and get you to provide your credentials. Again, we try to stop all these emails as many as we can, but you need to help us kind of be that last line of defense. Here's an example of an actual email we received. Summer before last, this went to Lisa Matson Coleman, who is the principal at OnTrack. She just sent an email to Mary Stearns, which is her secretary, and asked that I need a physical Google Play card. Can you purchase this for me and get back to me? They actually signed it with her name, her title, her phone number. But if you look at the very top, again, right after Lisa's name, it has an email address here. Number one, as you can tell, that's not Lisa's email address, doesn't look anything like it. But the pure fact that it has an email address listed there means this did not come from Lisa inside the network. Even though the signature block says her name, this tells you this was not sent by Lisa. This came from somebody outside the district. We try to block these. What this example is they want you to go get a physical Google Play card. They may ask you to go get $500 worth of Google Play cards. They will ask you, or Amazon cards or iTunes cards, they will ask you to scratch off the numbers off the back and take a picture of them and email them to them, because ostensibly Lisa's in a meeting and can't talk to you right now, but she needs you to provide that information so she can give it to somebody in the meeting as a gift. When you send those Google Play card numbers off the back, you've essentially handed over that cash to the individual on the other end of this email. Again, these are emails that happen somewhat regularly. They're hard to stop because there's nothing in the email that triggers it as a phishing email, but you need to help us on that. If you have a laptop or other portable technology and you take it from a district building, you have an obligation to keep it secure. And what that means is if it's in your car, in your house, or in public, it needs to be locked. If it's in your trunk of your car and you're going home and you're going to stop at the grocery store or stop at a restaurant, put that laptop in your trunk, put it out of sight. Don't leave your bag in plain sight on your seat. Even if you don't bring your laptop home and you just leave your a bag that you pack back and forth to work, and it looks like a briefcase kind of bag, people will smash and then grab it, and then they'll figure out after the fact if there was anything valuable in it. Put that stuff out of sight. Protect yourself. Protect the property. We've had examples where somebody drove to their house with a laptop on their back seat, left their garage door open, and in the middle of the night, someone came into their garage, took the laptop right out of their car in their garage. And the sad part is what's a hard conversation is if you didn't make reasonable efforts to secure that hardware, then you become liable for the replacement cost. Oftentimes, maybe your home insurance, but either way, you become liable for replacement. If you bring a laptop home, bring it into your house, which presumably is a reasonable attempt to secure it. So just be aware of that. If you leave employment with the district, the hardware you're using, laptop or otherwise, needs to be returned. That does not belong to you. It belongs to the district, and you use it while you're employed by the district. But if you leave, we need to have you return it. And also, if you have a coworker or anybody else who works with the district and they maybe leave, don't just take another employee who's left laptop and it's because it's a better laptop. We need to track where hardware is at. Your supervisor will need to know where that's at, and all of a sudden it just moves around. It makes it really confusing as to where the hardware just went. And don't borrow a student device out of a cow. If your device dies and you need a hardware immediately, sometimes ITSC may tell you to go do that, or they may get you a replacement device immediately. But don't just make that decision just to grab a device. Be in touch with ITSC and let us help you get you an appropriate device. And then one last thing is you'll find within the district, there is a lot of email gets sent with a lot of important information. Be prepared to read through that email. There's a lot of good details in it. Just check your email on a regular basis because there is a lot of information that gets distributed throughout the district. Good. Thank you very much.